Girls, what was the most obvious hint you dropped and the guy just didn't get it?
I once asked a guy if I could kiss him. We had been hanging out in a way that was conducive to that, and he said yes. I kissed him. It was great. But then we just parted ways in a natural way. 3 days later, this man calls me all shocked that I was hitting on him. He told a friend about the interaction, and they had to point it out. Sir, I literally kissed you.
I'm sitting here laughing only because, yes, as men, we are that oblivious. The missed opportunities over the years are just mind-blowing. For the record, there are a million guys who just go for what they want and don't take the hints, or explicit protests, that the behavior is unwanted. Many guys realize this and want to either distance themselves from that image or assume the women around them have dealt with it so long that they're just sick of men and not interested in them. A few extremely vocal women do communicate this. There's also a lot of guys who've basically trained themselves to avoid looking for signals, specifically because they can be so easily misinterpreted. They won't believe information that's not communicated verbally and explicitly. And some of us are just idiots. As I like to say, a lot of guys mistake friendliness for flirting, but a lot of guys know a lot of guys mistake friendliness for flirting. So they'll think a girl is flirting with them, then think, oh wait, I'm doing the thing where I mistake friendliness for flirting. Even when they're mistaking flirting mistaken for friendliness, mistaken for flirting. I hooked up with an old work colleague about a year ago, and I asked her if she was flirting with me a couple of years earlier, but I was just too dumb to realize. Turns out she wasn't. She was just being friendly, but at the time I suspected it was more than that. It's a bloody minefield.
I asked him out on a movie date after already spending hours talking to him, just the two of us. I had already given him lots of compliments, told him how I loved to be around him, how I really enjoyed his company. During the date, I paid for the tickets, he paid the snacks. I went to sit closer and tried to grab his hand. He genuinely thought I just wanted the armrest and moved away from me. I had to literally tell him I had feelings for him after the movie, and even then, he asked me what I meant. We're married now, have 2 kids, and I know he'll never cheat because he'll never ever notice anyone flirting with him. And, you know, trust and loyalty.
You literally told the man you had feelings for him, and he still didn't get the hint? You know, I have a lot of feelings for you. Like disgust? That's how I'm imagining the conversation. The word feelings can mean anything, really.
We're Belgian and speak Flemish, and I do remember most of the conversation. A literal translation would be more like, I really like you and want a relationship with you. Huh, like a friend's relationship? No, like a couple. Oh! And then it took him 10 minutes to figure himself out and actually say yes. After dinner and drinks, I asked if he wanted to go back to my place and watch Bob's Burgers. He said he didn't really like cartoons. I said, we don't have to watch anything. We can do other things. He replied, then what would we do? With a genuinely puzzled expression, I figured it was clear he wasn't interested and figured we had fun and called it a night, especially since he had mentioned wanting to beat that traffic getting home. Kinda bummed, but I figured life goes on, and then 20 minutes later, he texted me and said, not gonna lie, I wanted you so badly tonight. I was like, I didn't think so because I invited you up and you declined. And suddenly, he realized I was inviting him for sex. He flipped out and asked if he could come back over LOL. He did, and finally got it, and we had snacks and drinks and sex. Dated for a few months. Pretty cool guy, but absolutely clueless.
Dude was probably thinking, oh, if I say I don't want to be stuck in traffic, she may have me stay the night. Smooth move.
I once asked a guy straight up if he wanted to me, and then he laughed and kept talking about something else. Then, an hour later, he called and asked if I was serious, to which I said yes. And he was like, oh, I didn't know that was an actual option. Getting my tits out.
That's not a hint. That's 2 very strong arguments.
2 nights ago, I asked my boyfriend, can I get some of that? And touched his crotch. After about 30 minutes of weirdness, I said, hey, it's okay if you don't want to do anything. Let's just go to bed. And he hit me back with a, wait, I didn't know you wanted sex. Why didn't you say anything? I took my whole shirt off for him to treat my sunburn. He was flabbergasted, to say the least. His dad even suggested he should do it in the first place. I visited his family over summer break. His dad even suggested he slept with me in the guest room opposed to his own, as it was cooler there. People kept making remarks. He asked me if it bothered me. I said, no, I don't mind it. He made a whole speech in front of everyone to stop it. Made me think I was the stupid one, LOL. Took him 3 months to catch up to what everyone was seeing in a second.
He was thinking, wow, I'm so deep in the friend zone that she doesn't blink an eye at taking her shirt off in front of me. I'd better not be creepy since I don't want to ruin this friendship. I am a man, so this isn't what you asked for. But I would love to offer my story about how my wife of almost 6 years and I got together since it sort of applies to the topic at hand. So I met her at 35. I was single, she had a boyfriend. We had incredible chemistry, but I had been around the block a lot by then and was determined to not read past a solid friendship. We were friends, and I was an adult, and not about to do anything that might disrespect this. Throughout the summer, we got to know each other more and more. It was a perfect, effortless, close friendship. Summer ends, and so does her relationship. I do not see this as an opportunity for anything more than our friendship. Sure, we'd be perfect together, but I pushed those thoughts out because, again, I didn't want to disrespect her or our friendship. We would hang out, go dancing with friends, etc. She was newly single, but we were friends before, and nothing really changed. So summer turns to fall. One Friday night in October, we were supposed to go out dancing with friends. She's like, would you rather just stay in and watch a movie? Would I ever? That's one of my favorite things to do. And as an aficionado of bad movies, I love showing friends great bad movies that I love. And I had just the movie, 1980's The Apple, a disco rock opera dystopian biblical allegory musical about a future, 1994, run by an evil disco record producer who might also be the devil. No, really. So DVD in hand, I go over to her new apartment. I get there, and her living room is a huge space with a tiny little 13T TV Zao DVD combo unit. Well, not ideal, but it will have to do. So she says, if you want, we can watch it on the iMac in my bedroom. And I'm like, sure, that's fine. Again, I am reading nothing into this. Friends can watch a movie in a bedroom. That's a thing friends can do. So, we get into the bedroom and I load the disc on the iMac. I am ready to show her this movie. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, and she sits back against the headboard against the pillows. She's like, you don't have to sit all the way up there. You can sit back here if you want. And again, I am taking 0 hints. I don't want to be that guy, and read things that maybe aren't there. And again, I value and respect our friendship. But I'm like, sure, and sit back there next to her. Friends can do that. So it's kinda chilly. She gets under the blanket. It's October after all. She then tells me that if I'm cold, I can get under them too. Sure, I guess that's fine. Friends can sit under the same blanket. That's not weird. LOL. So she starts getting closer and cozying up to me. I swear to God, I am not being coy when I say my thoughts in this moment are, okay. Well, I guess friends can snuggle. That doesn't mean anything. I am picking up no signals at all. Then she starts kissing me, and we've been together ever since. I am neither cool nor clever. Wow. It's crazy how some hints can be so clear, yet completely fly over someone's head. Honestly, reading through these stories makes you wonder how many chances people have missed just because they weren't paying attention. If you've ever been in a situation like this, whether you dropped the hint or missed it, share your story in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more, and hit the bell so I can see you in the next one.